Why the absolute fuck are we still waiting to see Islam Makhachev versus Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier versus Ilia Topuria? Is Dana White too busy snorting coke off John Jones' spinning elbow practice dummy? I mean, wife? Realistically, Charles doesn't want to risk his ranking for a fight that isn't the title, and Topuria would much rather have an easier matchup with Poirier as well. Islam wants to farm a free title defense against Gaethje. And Gaethje, the punch-drunk retard, will entertain it. Dana is happy with feeding Gaethje and Poirier to the wolves to boost up the potential super fight of Ilia vs Islam. So I predict these fights will be made in the future. But how fucking funny would it be to watch it backfire, both Gaethje and Poirier pull it off, and have the most brain-damaged trilogy and title fight in UFC history? You degenerates want real violence, right? Well, guess fucking what? So do I. Let's break down these dream matchups because you sick bastards know it's exactly what you came for. Islam versus Gaethje would be absolute carnage. Gaethje, bless his deranged heart, is the type of psycho who actively enjoys absorbing punches directly to his skull just to land a single leg kick. Meanwhile, Islam treats his opponents like ragdolls at a daycare run by steroid-fueled Dagestani wrestlers. The logical outcome here, and let's not fuck around, is Islam ragdolling Gaethje so thoroughly that casual fans start calling Child Protective Services. But MMA math doesn't always add up, and that's why this fight is deliciously enticing. Picture this. Islam opens aggressively, shooting double legs and manhandling Gaethje to the canvas like an abusive babysitter. Gaethje's only defense to submissions historically has been to turn purple and pray the round ends before his head explodes. Islam batters him with elbows, punches, and a series of submissions that Gaethje barely escapes, surviving purely through the power of reckless stupidity. As rounds go by, Justin's leg kicks slowly eat away Islam's mobility. Now imagine the late rounds. Islam, hobbling around like your grandma after a bottle of gin, shoots a desperate, predictable takedown, and Gaethje, the psychopathic lumberjack himself, lands a brutal right uppercut left hook combo from hell, sending Islam's consciousness straight into another dimension. Is this scenario likely? No, fuck no. Probably like 12%, but imagine the utter fucking chaos it would unleash. Rogan screaming, Cormier fainting, Anik losing control of his bladder, fans literally throwing each other over balconies. That shit would be legendary. Now let's shift gears to Dustin Diamond Poirier versus Ilia. I will violently punch your skull into another zip code, Topuria. This fight is insanely interesting. Poirier has made a career of patiently outlasting featherweights who move up. Case in point, the beatdowns he handed Conor McGregor and Max Holloway. Poirier's boxing defense is slicker than John Jones in a USADA testing pool. But Ilia hits harder than a drunk father at a little league game. If Poirier survives those early bombs, and that's a big if, especially considering Poirier tends to hit the canvas harder than a white girl at a frat party during early rounds, he could slowly drag Ilia into deep waters. The dream scenario. Ilia drops Poirier multiple times early. Fans are screaming, degenerates are throwing beers at the TV, your neighbor punches his annoying cousin out of pure anxiety. But Poirier, tougher than gas station beef jerky, slowly takes over as Ilia's gas tank empties. Late into round 4, Poirier unleashes a violent combination against the cage, channeling his inner demon, breaking Ilia down exactly as he did Conor. But here's the crucial part. Poirier's team absolutely must demand 5 rounds. Anything less is clinically retarded. If Dustin comes unprepared or gets booked in a 3-round fight, Topuria sends him to meet Michael Johnson in the Shadow Realm faster than Brendan Schaub's comedy specials got cancelled. Speaking of Brendan Schaub, let's quickly transition into John Jones and Tom Aspinall. Dana White confirmed this heavyweight title unification fight for 2025 after Aspinall repeatedly called Jones out for delaying the inevitable showdown. It's cute how Jones needs 2 years to prepare. Presumably because he's been too busy practicing spinning elbows on his wife's face to train actual striking defense. Aspinall's got hands faster than a coke addict swiping his dealer's phone, and he's actually a real heavyweight, not some bloated middleweight like Jones' usual victims. But let's not bullshit ourselves. Jones's fight IQ is disgustingly high. He'll spam oblique kicks and eye pokes until Aspinall can't see or stand straight. Can Tom knock him out early? Fuck, let's hope so. or we're looking at another dull wrestling clinic from Jones, punctuated by Rogan screaming, "He's out," 3 seconds before Tom taps. Meanwhile, Francis Ngannou's proposed $50 million superfight with Jon Jones is hilarious, simply because the UFC will absolutely never let it happen. Dana White would sooner personally allow Jones to elbow him in the nutsack than see the UFC lose face to PFL. Ngannou's grappling game makes women's MMA look advanced. Jones submits him within 2 rounds. But if Francis somehow connects one nuclear uppercut, Jon's head would enter orbit, becoming a new satellite orbiting Earth, endlessly playing clips of Dana's face melting live. Switching gears again, Jorge Masvidal desperately wants back in the cage against Leon Edwards. And why not? Edwards' wrestling was exposed by Sean Brady, and Masvidal loves easy money. Street Jesus versus Edwards, the 3-piece and a soda grudge match we all forgot about, might actually sell some tickets. Leon's drop in rankings reflects how bad he is under pressure. This fight is tailor-made for Masvidal to starch Edwards and steal some relevance back. Then we have Sean O'Malley desperately chasing Merab Dvalishvili for the bantamweight title rematch. O'Malley's reportedly deleting Instagram and other distractions. Great move, Sean. Now try deleting the neon hair dye and actually developing some wrestling defense. Merab took his soul the first time, and it probably happens again unless Sean pulls a miracle KO from his stash of lucky strikes. Women's MMA? It still fucking sucks. Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison might be the only women's fight worth watching in years, only because Harrison has actual elite grappling credentials, and Pena at least tries to fight like someone who knows what they're doing. But let's face it, the entire division remains emptier than Brendan Schaub's fan meetups. Alright fuckers, smash that like button, subscribe, or I'll send you non-stop replays of Tyron Woodley versus Stephen Thompson until your eyes bleed. If you don't comment your favourite knockout, Dana White will personally slap your girlfriend's ass harder than Gaethje kicks legs. You're still here? Damn, you degenerate fucks have issues. Fine, let's dive into the real breakdowns for you hardcore addicts. Let's face it, the realistic outcome of Gaethje versus Islam ends in Islam winning by submission. Gaethje's submission defense is historically non-existent, and Islam's grappling is disgustingly dominant. It probably ends within 2 rounds, sorry to shit on your dreams. Poirier versus Topuria also ends badly for Dustin in a 3-round fight. Dustin's chin isn't what it used to be, and Topuria hits harder than a sexually frustrated gorilla. Ilia knocks him out in round 2, crushing Dustin's retirement hopes like a sad kid's birthday balloon. Now, assuming both Islam and Ilia dominate, we get the future lightweight super fight, Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. This matchup is insanely exciting on paper. Ilia's knockout power against Islam's grinding control. Realistically, Islam dominates the grappling exchanges, tiring Ilia out and winning by late submission or decision. Sorry, degenerates. Makhachev remains lightweight king. Chimaev versus Duplessis? Chimaev wrestle-fucks him. Duplessis' chaotic striking won't save him against Khamzat's suffocating grappling. Ankalaev remains light heavyweight king for the foreseeable future, unless Pereira heals up and finds a miracle knockout punch. Finally, for shits and giggles, let's briefly revisit the hypothetical slaughter of Conor McGregor by every top 5 lightweight. Gaethje kicks his legs off, Poirier KOs him effortlessly again, Islam submits him in 2 minutes, Chandler smashes him like a piñata, and Oliveira taps him out before Conor finishes 1 line of coke. McGregor's relevance? Absolutely fucking done. If you're still here, you absolute psychopaths, you're clearly addicted. Keep watching, keep commenting, and let's continue enjoying this beautiful dumpster fire that is the MMA world. Until next time, degenerates, stay violent, stay crazy.